क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं.
क्या कर सकते हैं? If you heard Avi absolutely, I won't say barking. He's not a dog. He's not a dog. It's not the day to be.
I've been cold words, sorry. From your
But-
words, from your
no,
mouth as well.
not from my mouth. Not from my mouth. Again, Asim, I'm sorry, Ben. I am sorry, but we were supposed to go on at 10:30, but Avi rang me and he was going berserk down the phone and saying, I want to come on today. I want to come on. We have to go. It's Florian Friday, but we're here on Saturday talking about Florian Friday, where Liverpool fans were presented their new superstar, were presented their new number 10. He can play anywhere across the line. We don't care where he plays, in all honesty, as long he plays in a red shirt. Florian, feelings turned into Florian Friday today. Avi, it's a official Mubarak to you that we've got the best number 10 in the world.
Mubaraka. Yeah. And listen, we all knew it was happening, but there's nothing like a confirmation. There's nothing like a Liverpool pin tweet confirmation. There's nothing like a Liverpool FC confirmation from the website. Big up the Redman TV. And I'm
I don't
sure
know who that is, whether it's Steve, Dan, Chris. My bets are, I'm not a betting man. That's Steve, because I just seen his tweet. He can't go to sleep. It's definitely Steve.
And look, big up everyone. Big up all the YouTube channels, by the way, today and all week and this summer, because everyone's going to be working in overdrive and overtime. So listen, we're no different. I had to do a show today because look, these are the news that we've been waiting for, Asim. We've been saying it for a while. It was going to be a big summer, a reset, a summer of madness. And here we are, Asim. We're sitting finally at the head table. We've often said we want to be in for the big players, whether that was whether we were living in fantasy land under FSG, when it came to Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Caicedo, and many more players that have slipped through our hands. But we're finally here, Asim. And it's been a long time coming, but it's just good to get one of. It's more than good. This is jubilation to get one of the biggest prospects over the next course of the next sort of 5-10 years in Florian Wirtz, a German superstar. You know, the man to take Germany to that next level, the national team, because we've seen the struggles of the national team, and it's him and Musiala who are the face of the German national team to take them forward. But what a footballer! We've got a complete footballer at the age of 22. He's done some serious numbers already. I think he is on par with Messi and Ronaldo at the age that he is now, when they were at that age. So yeah, look, I can't wait, Asim. I can't wait for our season to start. But it's a big but. There's so much more to come. If we think that we've shut up and shopped after Kerkez, we've got another thing coming, because we're just getting started in the window. And honestly believe that we're just getting started.
We're just getting started, but more of that later on, Avi. And we talk about this guy's personality. We talk about his personality on the pitch as well, and how he expresses himself on the ball, off the ball. He's the perfect number 10. And Liverpool fans, he's going to get us off our seats many, many times. Let's not make any mistake about it. His numbers on and off the ball are absolutely mind-blowing, Avi. So, and this is the reason why we probably look. Liverpool did their due diligence when it came to meeting Rayan Cherki in South France. But the main thing is we got our main man. We're shopping at the top table. How many times have we said it over the last few weeks, Avi? That is for once, it's Manchester City losing out on signings. And although they backed out on a few signings like Alexis Sanchez, we were discussing, a few years ago, they do have a line when it comes to wages. But Avi, Nouri was on our list. He wasn't our number one choice. Rayan Cherki was on our list, but he wasn't our number one choice. Liverpool are strengthening from a position of strength, and the whole of the Premier League, actually, let me take that back. The whole world is knowing about it. The whole world is watching. I go on my YouTube, I see Man United fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans confused, thinking, what the hell is going on at Liverpool? Why are they signing players of the caliber of Florian Wirtz, of the caliber of Milos Kerkez? And even now, the actual Isaac talk is making them go into frenzy. But Liverpool mean business. And like you said, Avi, this is probably and could be just the start.
I think there's been some football channels, Chelsea channels, Man United channels, Arsenal channels as well. That yeah, this has made them stand up a little bit, but it's also made them think, wow, Liverpool now are in a position of Biddy's just taking the words out of my mouth, are in a position of power now where they're competing with the very best, and not only that, it's Asim, it's game on. It's game on in terms of we're not here to be a one-time winner again and then wait for another 3 4 years for another cycle. We want to be serial winners, and I think FSG, and I hope this is what I really hope they've now finally grasped what it means in England, especially in the sport in England, which is the Premier, football. Obviously, it's our holy grail, but they understand what it means now. That look, we want to become serial winners. We could have been serial winners under Jurgen's Liverpool. We were very unlucky, Asim. Couple of finals that we've lost out, a couple of points that we lost out to City for the league. But here we're designing this team, we're rebuilding this team for genuine success season in and season out, Asim. That's what's happening. Florian Wirtz was our first choice. We've got him. Milos Kerkez has been our first choice since the start of last year. We've got him. Emmanuel Frimpong. Jeremy Frimpong has been our. You'd imagine he's been our first choice. We've got him. And I think there's 3 4 more to do in terms of business. I think now we look at sales. But yeah, clubs have noticed now, Asim. Clubs have noticed now, and they know that we mean business. And this ain't a fluke win under Arne Slot. This was everything sort of came together, and Slot had this perfect season. We're coming for back-to-back success, and that's what we want.
I mean, if you had to pinpoint one reason why he chose Liverpool, and I know you probably can say no, there are many reasons: the manager, the Anfield atmosphere when he came to play against Liverpool in a Leverkusen shirt in the Champions League this year. But what do you think that was the decisive factor for him to pick us over Bayern Munich and Man City, and according to some reports, Real Madrid as well?
I think heritage plays a big part, Asim. I think the history of our club. And if you look at the story of Bayer Leverkusen, of course, they haven't had the European glory or they haven't had the domestic success like a Liverpool have, but the club models are very similar. They are about the fan base is huge. They are a loyal bunch. They are a sort of work hard club. And look, what sold the club, Asim? The style of play. I think the players that have committed to Liverpool in terms of Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and they're big, not personalities. They're not big players. They've got big auras around them. Every great player around there, every young prospect wants to be playing alongside a Virgil van Dijk or in a Virgil van Dijk team. They want to be playing alongside a Mohamed Salah. Why would you want to take up on that opportunity? Mohamed Salah is arguably the best player in the world. Okay, we didn't win the European Cup, but the numbers that he put up this season, no one else has bettered that around Europe, Asim. Yes, the Dembélés have had a good season. Yes, the Mbappé's had a good season at Real Madrid, but winning the Premier League title at a canter and the assists that went with the goals, every young player will be looking at that and they want to be part of this. And I think these what the most key is. Everyone wants to be around this structure. Everyone wants to be around this sort of post Klopp, this Liverpool version 2.0 under Arne Slot. I think there's so much excitement and a lot of buzz with Liverpool around the world right now. We want to play. They want to play for the club, whether your local Scouse lad has left or not. This club is still very, very appealing to the world's best players.
100%, 100%. Just going to go to Chris's question. I think you were talking about which areas that we're going to improve in. He asks, you said 3 or 4. What positions and who?
Just 1 second, Asim. I had to take this message.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. I don't want to disrespect anyone. 3 4 players. I still think a left back comes in. A left back stroke left centre back. So I know you spoke about
Kerkez is coming in next week.
Yeah. And I still
so
think
are you excluding him?
No, yeah, excluding him, we bring in another.
Okay.
I know, and I know you mentioned Castello Lucebo today.
Okay.
Someone of that ilk, Joel Hato, maybe, who could sit in the season and just learn and develop his game and get his fair share of games, which he will still have. I know he's 18. I still think a midfielder is on our lips, Asim. A 6/8, a bit of everything. Look, there's talk of Mateus Fernandes at Southampton being available for 25 million. He's a snip. I just watched him last week in. I saw clips. I didn't watch all of the game. I saw clips of him in an under 21 game for Portugal. He was absolutely brilliant, and he's had a very good season at Southampton. And we do look at teams that have been relegated. We always try to pick a player out, whichever team has gone down. So that's one to watch for. And I still think a number 9 Asim. We still need a number 9. And I think the left wing position is a fluid one, depending on Luis Diaz. And these one of the words I used on Thursday when I posted a tweet. I had a list of players that we're looking for to sell, like the likes of Ben Doak, the likes of Darwin Nunes, Federico
Well,
Chiesa.
Avi, I know you've been talking about this summer of madness, and sorry to interject. Will we have the time? Will we just simply run out of time for all this business?
No, there's a lot of time to go. I think we're not even into July yet. You got
There's
July, you got most of August.
a lot of players to get in and out.
July and most of August. But look how much work we've done already now. We've practically got Kerkez, Frimpong, and Wirtz in now.
Yeah,
Keller has gone. Who's the other one who just gone now?
Kwanzaa, more or less.
Kwanzaa is on the verge of leaving. So that's 2 gone. Harvey Elliott is next, you would presume, alongside Chiesa and Darwin. I think those 3 are next now. Those 3 are now that those 3 are next to shift. And then we'll go back into the market as well. There's a lot of in and outs happening, Asim, but we're working hard. We're working in overtime as well. So we're making up for lost years, Asim, you could say, last summer. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
the data nerds, the transfer strategic team, they will be working overtime to make sure that we get. I'm telling you now, Asim, 6, 7, easy coming in.
What including the 3 that have already come in through the door?
In terms of right now, we've got 4. Mohamed Ishveli, you can say last season, but he's officially
Yeah, that's
coming in this
fine.
season.
That's fine.
Another 3 there. Another 3, 4, 7 or 8.
Wow. The summer of madness. We're here. It's midnight madness, but this is the summer of madness as well. Let's go to the main man up top, Alexander Isak. Everyone has got Alexander Isak on their tip of their tongue. Avi, what do you? I saw a lot of sort of Newcastle journalists or Northern journalists a couple of weeks ago, and I was exploring and talking to the chat earlier on during the day. I feel encouraged, and some people might call me deluded as well. Obviously, we need another miracle. But if you asked any fan, Liverpool fan, 3-4 months ago that you're going to be signing Florian Wirtz, at that time they'd be probably calling you deluded as well. So fast forward the clock, and we've got Florian Wirtz through the door. He's a red. Alexander Isak, the narrative about 3-4 weeks ago was he's indispensable, he's untouchable, he's unsellable, all these types of words. Now, all of a sudden, I think they've gone down, probably a couple of levels, or at least one level, where the narrative is saying, okay, if we want us to talk and negotiate at the table, you're looking around 150 million pounds or even 200 million pounds. And let's be honest, Liverpool are not going anywhere near 200 million pounds. But I think, or do you think 150 million pounds for Alexander Isak is one, realistic for Newcastle to accept, or 2, Liverpool to go and break that British record once again this summer?
Asim, I posted on your show yesterday. I think you had Billy on, Akil, and you had Waxy on. Brilliant show, by the way, guys. If you haven't seen it, make sure you watched last night's show as well. It was pretty good. I told you that 125 million gets the Isak deal over the line. I think that's the magic number, and I think Newcastle. And someone was telling me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not too clever when it comes to this PSR stuff, but I believe that offsetting an asset like Isak for that much money means they can spend up a little. They can spend that little bit more this summer. I think they're looking at at spending at 250 to 300 million is the talk, Newcastle, but they would have to sell. They would have to offset one of their biggest assets, and their biggest asset right now is Alexander Isak. I think a 125 million pound deal, Asim, that gets done. There's talk that would you have to put in a transfer request? Transfer request doesn't really exist anymore. But
Why doesn't it exist?
As in that word transfer request in footballing business terms now doesn't exist. He can outline his intentions. His agent can outline his players, his clients, his clients' intentions to leave the club. But a physical, like making it public or making out in the media that Alexander Isak has put in a transfer request, I think those days are long gone. I think the out the intentions would be that look, if there's a possible deal, if Liverpool come to the table at 125 million, we would like you to consider it because our client wants to play at Liverpool Football Club. He wants to play for the best.
Okay, but he can put it out in the public that the player has, explained his intentions to want to leave the club. That's effectively a transfer request,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
but it won't be like what you're like the
Yeah,
modern
and
the
a piece of paper.
layman's
I get
terms.
it.
Yeah, like oh, breaking news on Sky Sports, Alexander Isak has handed in a transfer request. If you
Mm,
remember the Fernando Torres deal, Fernando Torres, and this was when it was on Sky Sports that he told Liverpool to explore the option of selling him at 50 million. And I think only a day or two later, he said to Liverpool that I'm putting in a transfer request. But that was back in 2011, 2012 when he was sold. But look, Alexander Isak has a decision to make as well, Asim. He needs to firmly believe at 25, coming
yeah.
into his sort of latter years, his peak years between 25 to 30, where does he want to be playing football? A player of that, we don't want it to be like a Kane case or a Shearer case where you're scoring bags full of goals for your club, but you've only got one Premier League title to show for it in terms of Shearer's case. Whereas Harry Kane had to F off from Spurs, go to Bayern Munich, and win his first sort of domestic title, which was the Bundesliga. A player like Alexander Isak needs to be winning trophies, which come with his goals as well. His goals should equal to trophies. And I know he's got the League Cup, but we're talking about one of the creme de la creme strikers in world football. He needs to be winning league championships and European Cups, and he'll only get that at Liverpool.
Do you think he signs a new contract?
Isak, no chance.
I believe they offer him a new contract.
He won't sign it.
Okay. Do you think Liverpool, if they don't get him this,
you say that you're saying that a bit with a hint of like koi there, and you suck on that. You suck on that ingur. Yeah. You say that with a bit of hesitancy that you feel that he would sign a new contract.
No, I don't think he signs a new contract.
How many years has he got left now? 2.5, 3?
3, I think. Okay. 3.
We're gonna make a play for Alexander Isak, whether it's the last week of the window or whether it's a few weeks to go before the window finishes. We will make it public that we're prepared to pay big money for Alexander Isak.
Okay.
Your thoughts? Do you think we make a play officially?
I think so.
And you think 150 million?
I think, Avi, if we want to get Isak, I think it'll cost 150 million pounds.
Okay. Interesting.
Newcastle will say, look, this guy, in terms of a striker generally costs more than a number 10. Agree?
Yeah. Asim, it's going to be interesting to see.
I'm buying from Newcastle, Saudi, Champions League. I know Leverkusen got Champions. Have you got Leverkusen got Champions League?
Yeah. They finished second.
But Newcastle are probably in a position to withstand that sort of bid because of their owners. Maybe not because of their PSI issues.
I'm with selection here. We're not proposing 150 million.
I'm not saying we're going to go in for 150 straight away, are we? Might be like a 135 plus 15. So we're not going to go in with thingy 115, 1 plus 25. I think that's a bit too many.
It's going to be very important to see what Newcastle do now over the next 2 weeks. Whether there's real legs with this João Pedro, and I've been out of it for the last 48 hours, so people might correct me if I'm wrong. We'll see what's happening with João Pedro, and I think their next move after João Pedro is the most important one. Whether they get in another forward, and I'm talking about whether they go in for an Ekitike, whether they go in for a Gyökeres or a Sesko. That will be telling. It will be telling to see what Newcastle do in the transfer window over the next 2 players. That will give us the biggest indication that they're prepared to come to the same table as Liverpool, dine and wine, or wine and dine.
You became really popular over the last day or so. Did you see our shorts?
No.
On the channel,
no.
I put a short out. Remember when I asked you all these number 9s in Europe and where they're gonna go? I didn't even realize when you were telling me. You actually ended up telling me 3 players are gonna end up at Newcastle.
Wow.
So when I put it up just before bed, I woke up.
There must have been tons of
I think they got around about 10,000 views.
Well, that's all right.
But
I
the
don't,
views.
I don't
I
mind.
didn't send it to
I
you.
don't mind. I don't mind behaving like a class clown as long as it gets us views. Views are everything to us.
Well, a lot of talk about, Asim, you're way off the mark. Like, how much does the chat think that we're gonna get, or if we get? Need to be very careful with my terminology when it comes to Alexander Isak.
Make sure you're starring everyone that's become a member because we've got to read out their
I
comments.
am, I am, I am. Trust me, I
All right.
am. So tell me, 120 plus a pound. Oh, come on, Alan, behave. Mohsin says we won't do a deal at 150, including add-ons. 130 all in. Ooh,
I think that gets us Isaac. I think 125, 130, no 150 Asim. I
why?
hope I hope they're organic, by the way.
I think so. Are you hungry?
No. Well, you're gonna track me one.
How do you become a member? Yusuf, if you just tweet me, DM me, and I'll send you the link. And I'll send you. It's a bit complicated on the phone.
And we're doing something with the and you're not just becoming a channel member. You're going to get exclusive to content, exclusive shows, which will be channel member shows, and also we're looking at actually we are doing a bit of merch as well. So stay tuned over the next course of the next few months. Once we get your memberships in, and we'll have to have your addresses. We will be doing something special for everyone. So just don't
Yeah,
think that it's a money grabbing opportunity. That's not what it is. You're supporting the channel, and we're paying. We're essentially giving back as well. So it works two ways. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
I think Billy's right. Billy, do something useful for once in your life. Text Waxy and get that link off him, please, and then just pin it. Put it in, and I'll pin it on the chat. Thank you very much. Okay, I think the chat are around the 140 on average. I give you 10 million, give or take. I'm down at 140. So let's see what
100,
happens. I
125.
think we'll have to pay more than Florian Wirtz.
What's Florian Wirtz all in all now? 116.
Hmm. Don't
No,
say 120.
125 million. Let's see.
Okay. Jello.
Harvey Elliott, guys, and there's someone in the comment just wrote 115 plus. Harvey Elliott will not be a Newcastle player this summer.
Harvey Elliott won't be a Newcastle player.
And I know I've been wrong about Frimpong, but Harvey Elliott now he won't be going to Newcastle.
TK. Good to support some nice guys. Thank you very much, Mohammed. I think he became.
Put some comments up now.
I will do. H, the link's pinned on the chat already, I'm sure. Go on, H. You can always rely on you. Avi, let's go to Mark Guehi.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans, it came out the blue. There was some talk about Mark Guehi interest last summer. Was Gomez was going to go there? Was he going to leave? Palace were interested. Were they interested or not? I don't think Palace were interested in Joe Gomez last year. I know a few of the journalists did report that, but from what I understand, they were never in for him. Can we give some? I will do. We'll come to Kwanzaa. But Avi, talk to me about Mark Guehi. About his links, about his credentials, about his potential. Can he take over Ibu Kanate? But your thoughts about the player at the moment, in general.
I think you've got to respect what he's done at Crystal Palace. Look, he was on the Chelsea sort of academy, and we also know how hard it is to break through that Chelsea academy. But people will allude to Levi Colwill coming through. Guehi went to seek football elsewhere, and he's been very good, brilliant in a Crystal Palace team that plays three at the back. I like Chris Richards. I think he's done well. And they've got that also. Who is it? Joachim, not Joachim. Is it Joachim Anderson still? Have they still got Joachim Anderson? Who's the other centre back that plays with them alongside that three? And he's done well for England as well. Look, there's no doubt that Mark Guehi would be a very smart signing. Is he as good as Konate?
It's that other guy. He's got a weird name. I think he came from France.
Lacroix, Maxence Lacroix.
Oh yeah, there we are. Thank you.
Can he be as good as Konate? No, I think aerially he struggles. Mark Guehi, he is only 6 foot, but he's better on the ball than Konate. I'll give you that much. I think he's a good passer of the ball. He can spread the ball very well. I think he's an accomplished defender, Asim, as a third choice that would get his fair share of games alongside of Virgil van Dijk. And you got to remember this: any centre back that comes in and plays alongside of Virgil van Dijk will make them that much better. We saw it with Lovren, we saw it with Matip, and no disrespect to those players individually on their own, but they became better alongside of Van Dijk. Joe Gomez, that a couple of years that we saw him at his peak, which he was a phenomenal defender prior to his injuries, was brilliant alongside Van Dijk. Konate, he's been brilliant alongside Van Dijk. We've seen Konate struggle on his own. The Brighton game, the latest, that's the nearest game that I can remember where he had a bit of a shocker. Mark Guehi, you put him in this Liverpool team. Yes, he's homegrown. Yes, he's British. He's been capped by England. He had a fairly good tournament last year at the Euros. He would be a good player, Asim, but he has to know that his role is pushing Konate and Van Dijk at the same time. But he will have to start as third choice if everyone's fit.
From what I understand, and I tweeted it this morning, Avi, there is a bit of a big difference in valuation at the moment.
Simon Jordan, not Simon Jordan. What's his name?
Parish.
He's a bit of a slick Ricky as well. Yes, Simon Parish. They will demand top money for their players. Asim.
Can they demand? Does Guehi hold all the cards? He's got 12 months left on his contract, Avi.
But Parish is the type of guy just to let him sit and wait. Then
really,
Palace
sit tight and
Guehi's not going to want to upset the apple cart. If Liverpool are serious, I don't think we should go above 40 million. But I think Palace are asking for what, 50, 55?
Palace are around that, yeah.
Then we've got to look away. Then there's likes of like Loic Bade, who from Seville, who would come in, and I think he'd be more than happy playing second fiddle to a Konate and Van Dijk. And he's a quality defender. He's had a bit of a resurgence at Seville, but then it's a waiting game. We can't be paying 50 million plus for a Mark Guehi and let him sit on the bench. 40 million is where we should deal. And I hope that that we do come to a conclusion.
You'd walk away at 45?
No, then 40 to 45 you get it done. But then you're going to say, what's the difference between 45 and 50 then?
That's what I was going to just ask you. Would you walk away?
You know that we're very strict.
We've just got 34 million pounds for Jarell Quansah.
No, 30 million euros is. It's not pounds. It's 30 million euros.
Quansah. I thought it's 40 million euros. No. 34 million.
30 million euros. If you look at Ornstein's tweet, he said 30 million euros.
Maybe plus add-ons.
I think the catch here is the Guehi one is he's English. I think that's what the catch is, and I don't know what the homegrown quota looks like, and it's not looking pretty from what Kieran Thorne tells me. Big up Kieran Thorne, who's a regular, and big shout out to him because he's been hopping about Florian Wirtz since 2020. He's been telling me, that Abby, look, we have an issue with homegrown this season. So Guehi does appeal, but there's a price. Asim, everyone has a price when it comes to Liverpool and data.
40 million euros.
Oh, my bad then. It's about 32 million pounds. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But he says progressing towards deal being done for just north of 40 million euros.
Okay.
So we'll say 35 million.
35 million pounds. Yeah. And then you look at Guehi for, I think 40 million.
So you're telling me Guehi is only worth 5 million more than Quansah? Come on. You can't exactly bring age. He's 22, he's 24.
Asim, the club probably.
He's an England international. He's the best captain that we've ever had. He's won the FA Cup, an integral part of that team.
Is he a regular England captain?
No, he's
is he a regular England player?
I don't watch international football. I think he partners either Stones or Maguire now.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we'd have to pay a lot of money for him then. I think he's a good player, but it depends on what he wants as well, Asim. Is he okay to sit on the bench? World Cup, yeah?
I was just about to come to you.
Branthwaite coming through, who will get regular football out of Everton. Dan Burn, who's going to be playing regularly for Newcastle.
Yeah.
It depends on what he wants. Why you got flowers, you bloody... Change your profile picture.
I do.
People are saying, okay, would people be happy with 50 million? I think we'd have to. Who are we to argue? Yeah.
I'd be happy with 50 million pounds. I don't think
you don't think there's better out there though for 50 million.
Give me a name. Give me a name.
I think Loic Bade. I think Loic Bade is on that level, and he would cost you 25 million euros, million pounds. I don't think Guehi is top notch. He's good, but it's the homegrown.
That's what it is, and you have to pay 10 million pounds for
Antonio Silva. I think he's worth a shot at Benfica. Diomande, but I think Diomande, I think he needs to move like Palace first.
After you have to consider some Premier League tax, and he's
Would you
proven.
not take Lukeba for 40 million, 45 million euros over
I take
Guehi?
no, because I think they're different players.
No, if she had the choice of one or two, well, they'll both play centre back or left centre back. I think Lukeba gives you more versatility.
Yes, but I think Avi, look, maybe I just need to retract that. I think the deal will be done around 40 to 45 million max.
Let's move on then. If you think the deal will be done, and to be fair, when you're saying something positive this summer, more often than not, you've been more fruitful. So yeah.
So, but what I would say, Avi, is this signing for me, from what I understand, is because yesterday there was an outcry from the fans and in the chat as well that this guy is an Ibu Kanate replacement. He can't be. He's not good enough. There's a golfing class between the two players. It's a joke and this and that. All that narrative came out yesterday. But I quickly said, I go, look, I've been told there's no correlation between the two situations. The situation with Kanate and the situation of bringing someone in. Now, Kwanzaa, the narrative or the brief was coming out of the club that he's at 50 million pounds if you want to touch him. And even I think Paul Joyce wrote something around about 2-3 weeks ago where Liverpool see him as a really good youngster and they want to keep him. Maybe they were just trying to drive up the price and they understood or they knew Kwanzaa. And the new Leverkusen are coming. But I feel Liverpool are seeing Mark Guehi as an opportunistic signing that they can't say no to in terms of all the things that we've just discussed. And you mentioned Lukeba. I think Lukeba is being looked at in a different light, where I think Lukeba is being looked at as how we were looking for, Lenny Yoro. We were looking at Dean Huyson. I think Lukeba is in that category or bracket where we are looking for the next Van Dijk to be. Whether that's a left footer, I don't know. He can do probably some shifts at left back as well, but maybe that comes afterwards. Maybe Shimikas leaves the club in about a year's time. I don't know. But I think Lukeba is being looked at as a left centre back rather than a Guehi who is really good and adaptable and versatile across the defensive line. So I can't. That's why I'm not comparing them.
I think with the Van Dijk, look, there's no such thing as a Van Dijk successor, but that position that player that will come in for like a Virgil van Dijk when his time's up, that's a position that we can look into next summer. I think
we're missing out, man. We're missing out on defenders.
No, name me someone that could come in now.
Lukeba. He'd get shifts at left back. I'd be happy to go for Lukeba and what do you call it? Yeah, I'd sign up to that right now. Lukeba and Guehi. We need to bring this back.
Lukeba hasn't had the greatest of seasons at Leipzig this season, Asim.
He's 22.
Last season he had good. This season he's been a bit of a worry.
He's 22.
You don't want to wait. You don't feel we could wait one more year for a Virgil van Dijk successor and go with Guehi, Gomez, Konate, and Van Dijk this season?
Yes, but I want someone. Look, the club have been wanting to bring in a succession plan for 2 years. Avi.
I think we'll hold fire. I think with Van Dijk, it's a very, very careful decision. You're not going to get a Van Dijk replacement. Let's just make that clear. You're not going to get anyone near Van Dijk's quality. But what you're going to have to look at is similar characteristics to a Virgil van Dijk. You're looking at a leader. Is Lukeba has he got that leadership traits right now? Has he shown us those leadership traits at Leipzig? Not so much.
Avi,
does he give you that aura? Young defenders have that aura already. Dean Huyson has that aura. Whether it was at Bournemouth or whether it's going to be at Real Madrid or whether it's for the Spain team, you just know he plays football with that breathing confidence. Does he give you that when you look at clips of him? Not yet. So that's why it's a position.
His carrying ability.
It's a position I can hold fire on.
He's on the ball. It impresses me. It impresses me. And I think we need that physicality in the team, Avi.
No, we do, but I think we can wait.
And you don't know,
I
Avi,
don't
when
think
Van
Luke
Dijk
Cable will
leaves.
have plenty of suitors this summer.
wh-
That's my biggest.
Okay, I know, I can understand that. When Van Dijk leaves, Avi, where, like you said, where do we go and get the next Van Dijk? He doesn't exist. We might need to change tact a bit, where our ball player is on the right and our left-sided defender is more of the Kanate mold, rather than right now where Van Dijk is the Saliba mold, if you're going to compare him to another pairing, and Gabriel is, the Lukeba type or the Kanate type, who sweeps up a lot, goes out to the left a lot. So I think we might need to change, set up. It depends who's out there on the market. But I think but one thing I would say, Avi, is Jarell Hato is really rated by Van Dijk.
Yeah, and
Um,
the Dutch contingent and
the
all that.
Dutch.
That has to play along with it as well.
Let's go through some starred comments. We've had two new members, Abdullah and Yusuf. Thank you so much. Yusuf just literally asked us how to become a member after 5 minutes. This is the sort of approach and attitude we need to have. Ask how you become a member. Within 5 minutes, becomes a member. Thank you so much, people. And big up to all your love and support. Super chat from Delvin Jones. Thank you
Big
so
up
much for
Delvin.
sending
Always,
that through.
just a big message when it comes to Delvin Jones. He's been with me for quite a few channels. Big up Delvin, always there and thereabouts.
Why
Great
do you,
lad,
why do you think he's sending these super chats? Because of you and not
great
because of
lad.
us?
He's a great lad. He's a great lad.
You didn't answer the question here.
I don't need to.
Okay, we'll move on.
Chip responds to what he wants. Just remember that, Yadrak.
DK, you can have your day today. Who was the player we were so hyped to sign last time before Wirtz? Mine was Van Dijk, Alisson. What an exciting time to be a Red fans, lads. Hopefully more will come, and and we need some outgoings to get funds too. Who was the last time you were so excited about
You
like
know,
this?
so this is going back, Asim, back.
Hmm.
And we'll go into a little bit of a montage now.
Can't get involved as well.
My first player that I got so excited for was Stan Collymore when you got him from
8 million.
8.5 million.
Yeah.
I thought this guy was going to be the next Ronaldo, R9. Had a 24 goal season at Nottingham Forest, came in, scored in his first 3 games, crackers as well. The game against Sheffield Wednesday, cracker, left foot. It didn't happen for him. The next player after that, Asim, I would say, probably Fernando Torres. Fernando
Okay.
Torres when
Around
he came
about
from
26
Atletico.
million, wasn't it?
That same summer, Ryan Babel, because he came off a big under 19s
And
tournament with Marco Richter's for
yeah.
the Dutch team, and they said that Ryan Babel is the next Henry. He had shades of John Barnes. That goal
And he
against
scored a great goal against Derby Anfield.
I was at that game with
Was
Boron
he?
as well. I was at that game 6-0.
And yeah.
Yeah. Babel, and then after that, Thiago. Thiago, no, Van Dijk. Van Dijk. If you talk about the last proper player, I would say Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, yeah, I can get that. I think Thiago for me.
Thiago's a great
yeah.
shout.
Big up to the people joining us from Husam's TV. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. And
What's
thanks for
Husam's thought about FSG, by the way? You can all come in now, but I want to get his thoughts about FSG. You top red bastards. I still remember that little video that he did. Yeah. Now, talk now, Husam. Talk now. I'm calling you on now. Come whenever you want. We have that conversation now. Yeah. Now he's going to be FSG. But anyway, big up Husam. He's ever growing, and big up his channel. He's done amazing work, amazing legwork from Husam.
100%. Avi, okay.
No, he's in the chat. Look, I guy.
Yeah,
I was right all along. Where was the money for 5 years? These all the excuses now. They all say, "Oh, it's about time now. It's about time now."
Look, let's address that, Avi.
Yeah.
Look, there have been a few tweets I've seen him on Twitter as well, where the FSG outers and all these guys, the net spenders and all these guys, we haven't heard anything about it. Do they have a point? When you put, I know you were trolling as well on the WhatsApp, but I said, look, FSG, I'm not going to change my opinion on them. Yes, they do deserve credit on how they are acting this summer. But over the years, Avi, I believe the lack of spending, as great as Jurgen Klopp was and still is, they cost us titles.
I think they
And
were
we
moving.
only didn't really see how much that would have. If any other manager was at Liverpool, he wouldn't have done the job as Jurgen Klopp. And they got him at the right time. Again, credit deserved because they scouted him and got the right man at the right time. But pound for pound, for what he did for this club, if he didn't do that, we won't be in this position.
Asim, I think there's moving parts. I think Jurgen Klopp was there was a lot of stubbornness in Jurgen Klopp. There's a lot of loyalty in Jurgen Klopp, and you can see similarities with his work with Dortmund about some of the stars he just let age at Dortmund without moving them. And the same was happening at Liverpool. We saw it with Jordan Henderson. We had replacements for Jordan Henderson before we wanted to give him that
No, I'm
contract.
not. I'm not saying he's an
Jonathan,
angel. I'm not saying he's an angel.
there were a lot of moving parts. Now you can't just physically just say FSG. There's loads of people, the same people that are giving FSG a bit of credit now, were the same people last summer saying we've done nothing. We've only got in Chiesa. Even that was an opportunity signing. We won the bloody league. It's obviously the club had a plan and they knew about the plan, and Slot was happy with that squad. But people would say no, Slot's another yes man. That's what the narrative was. Slot's a yes man. He obviously isn't a yes man because we've just won the league and he's gone and improved the squad in the first few weeks of the transfer window being open. So I'm not scapegoating Jurgen Klopp. I think there were moving parts where Jurgen was responsible
But
for
we're
some
not.
of
We're
the
not.
damage. For some of the damage, no, for some of the damage that was done, and for some of the lack of spending.
Uh-huh.
And there was, yeah, obviously the owners didn't maybe have the right people in place. Like the Michael Edwards had gone. Julian Ward's only stuck out for 6 months.
No,
Klopp
I
got
mean
his
you're
Klopp
only
only
talking
brought,
about the last.
wait,
You're
don't
only
interrupt.
talking about the last
Don't
6
interrupt.
12
Klopp
months.
Klopp only
What
brought
about the summers? Summer when we won the league, who did we bring in?
who did we bring in? Harvey Elliott.
Uh-huh.
Who was it? Adrian?
And
Thiago?
Wijnaldum left.
Thiago Jota? No, no.
Was that good enough?
Wijnaldum left the season after. The season that we had the
Okay.
COVID, all this.
What was the summer that when we bought Adrian in?
That was that summer. That summer of when we brought in Harvey Elliott, Adrian,
Uh-huh.
Thiago.
And is that how you replaced
Was Thiago
Wijnaldum?
Was Thiago money? No, Wijnaldum went
We
the season
replaced
after.
Wijnaldum with Harvey Elliott.
Wijnaldum, no. I
We
think
did.
Wijnaldum went the season afterwards. Not that COVID, not that 1920, the 2020 season, the end of 2020. Wijnaldum was still at the club. He left the season after in 21.
Okay. When Wijnaldum left, who did we replace him with?
Who did we have at the club? We had Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho. Who else did we have in that midfield here? Naby Keita, Oxlade, James Milner. We still had 6 midfielders there.
Yeah, but we still had Ox and Naby had all the injury problems. We started playing Harvey Elliott in that position. And I think he got injured against Leeds, maybe.
It was Leeds. He started off well. Everyone was raving about Harvey Elliott. I was the only one who said I don't rate Harvey Elliott. And look where he is now. He's being sold. You rated Harvey Elliott, Asim.
As a squad player.
The first few games of the season when he was
as a squad player, when someone like Wijnaldum leaves the club,
when we were top of the league,
people only realize how good and how important Wijnaldum was when he left the club. People don't appreciate now. People have started appreciating that type of player. Now everybody's heard about a tempo setter, a controller in midfield. You know, the more the pundits and tacticals talk about this sort of profile of player. Now Wijnaldum, he's that type of player. When he left the club, everybody was thinking, where the fuck is Genie? Genie was a big game player as well, Avi.
We should have cut our losses with Henderson, Oxlade Chamberlain, Naby Keita 2 years prior to them actually leaving the football club.
But what I would say, Avi, is we
could have got some decent kind of money for them at the time.
Avi, the thing is, that's easier said than done. The problem was,
but it's easier said than done. Just pointing the finger at the owners.
Naby and Ox kept on getting injured, Avi. They weren't realistic. And I think around about 12 months left, Ox got another long-term injury as well. So I think he started getting some gains from what I remember. And then he got injured again, and then we had to wait.
We rewarded Oxlade Chamberlain after leg break. We rewarded him with a new contract. That shouldn't have been the way.
Yeah. Look, I agree, Avi, that Klopp did make mistakes. I'm not saying he's bloody.
Owners make mistakes, but with under this ownership in the last 8-9 years, we've competed at the top of the top. You can't blame Paris 22 Champions League final on the owners. You can't blame them for Kiev. Salah's injury, it was just fate. That bastard, so I shouldn't say that. Sergio Ramos broke his shoulder. 22 at Paris final. We pretty much did everything, but apart from Courtois and something, Naby Keita's shot. Thiago shouldn't have started that final. I don't know what we did starting him in that 22 cup final. The league losing it by a point. Those are fine details that could have gone either way. We could have been talking about 3 league titles, 3 Champions League.
Avi, the highest
Under
level
this
is
ownership,
fine
under
margins.
under this ownership in the last 10
At the
years,
highest level is fine margins.
no other club, bar City, have had it better. That's my point. No one ever had it better, and that's
And
with the
that's
lack
why
of
you have to
spending.
give, and that's why you have
That's
to
with the
give.
lack of spending, or the spending where we spent the summer of versatility when we brought those 4 midfielders in. They're showing up trumps now, and it could have been that look all along. The next cycle after Klopp was we've got to spend big now, and that's what we're doing.
It's
But
not.
name me another ownership that's had more success than us, bar City. You won't be able to name any.
Yeah,
You
but
won't
look
be
at the
able
other
to name
clubs.
any.
Look at the other clubs.
Arsenal have spent 1 billion. Man
Yeah.
United have spent close to 1 billion.
Yeah, but Man United.
Man
You
United
can't,
have
you can't
probably
compare us to Man United, for God's sake.
Why not? They've been trying to rebuild for the last 10 years.
No, because we don't want to be Man United. We don't want £1 billion. But you cannot deny the fact that Liverpool didn't strengthen from a position of power over the course of the last 3-4 years. You can't say that.
My point.
The main thing you're missing is Klopp. When he was here, he had to fund the main stand. He had to fund the bloody Anfield Road. He had to fund another 50 million training complex. And this is the reason why we want spending. Let's be honest. And this is where the fans weren't expecting 150 million signings, Avi. We were even asking for a 30-40 million signing. Klopp came out, you called him a yes man. And although obviously every manager to an extent, even Slot, you could argue, so he's a yes man. He's a yes man. But when that season, when we got a lot of injuries, we gave him bloody Kabak and Davies.
Okay. Now, yeah, but put some context on this, Asim. May I put context on this?
Put context.
Leipzig weren't going to deal for Konate in that January, so we were in desperate mode.
Why didn't we deal?
They didn't want to sell him in that January. That's why
when you're that desperate, you pay an extra £5-10 million.
Let me finish.
If we paid a premium, you cannot argue with me and say no. You cannot say Leipzig were going to say no to us with an extra £5-10 million.
Sabr karo. Go on. We were in for Collector Car, whatever his name is, that Marseille.
Yeah, the guy from France, I think.
He was waiting at the airport. Kabak, and we got in that bloody
Davies.
That Bender, yeah. Bender.
Shut up, man.
Okay, we got those 3 in, yeah. Leipzig weren't going to deal with Ibu Konate that January. We agreed a deal for Ibu Konate in that March. Pre-contract agreement done for the summer. Leipzig, we could have offered him 5 million. They said we're not selling him in January because they were in a Champions League campaign. And we met them that very same season in the Champions League under the COVID, no fans. So those were moving parts, Asim. It's time that we give these ownership credit. And those people who shouted FSG out. I bet you're not FSG out now. That's my saying. That's all I want to say. You're not FSG out now. That's where the argument ends now. Now you're on the chonge, basically. Anyway, carry on. Are you FSG?
The owners should be scrutinized.
Are you FSG out now?
Look, I probably am not. Look, I probably no. Probably no. Right now,
you were at one point.
Yes, I was.
There you go.
Yes, I was. I'm not gonna lie.
But I can't call you a chonga because you're a good guy.
No, you can call me what you want. Let's go to Thingy. Billy says I'm FSG out until we sign Isak.
Yeah, but Billy gives us Christmas lists, doesn't he? Have you seen his transfer lists? Come
on. Let's go to Thingy because we can talk about FSG all day. H, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. Florian Wirtz is a red. Silence the stream and just smile. Real talk. Got to respect you lads for the hustle being into the content. Big props to the double A duo Asim and Avi. Keep it up. H, my brother, thank you so much for the kind words, all the support. It doesn't go unnoticed, mate. Trust me. Rishi with a super chat. Thank you so much for sending this through. FSU was never going to sign his money. What did I say?
Never going to sign his money unless they thought it was worth it. Even this window, we are buying players of quality. Look, there's been a change of tack. They didn't bring in Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes in, Mark Burchell, who's a top scout, by the way. They didn't bring these people in the positions that they're in at Liverpool to do buy to sell or sell to buy methods again, like we've been doing in past summers. They genuinely are now spending money first on quality players. But make no mistake about it, we will still be running a tight ship. Tight ship meaning we're now going to be in the sales phase over the next 2 weeks where we're going to make big sales, recoup a lot of money, where our net spend will probably be back down to like 10, 15 million. And then we go big again.
Okay, there's 670 people in here, and it's 1 o'clock. This gives me like Caicedo vibes, Avi. It's not as late as the Caicedo stream, but please smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Avi, Kwanzaa, looks like he's done. Kerkez is going to.
He didn't fancy this move 3 weeks ago, by the way. When we first broke the news on this channel, exclusively on BNR, I said it was Kwanzaa that had Leverkusen's interest, not Harvey Elliott. But he didn't fancy a move to Germany. Something's changed, a change of tack maybe from our side, where we've said to Kwanzaa, we can't guarantee you the football next season. It's best that we part ways for now. And then let's see how your development progresses over the next 3-4 years. He's 21, Asim. He's so young. But I think in Germany, it's a better league, a slower league. He'll have more time to think. And yes, unfortunately, he will be under the stewardship of Erik ten Hag. But I think he has got quality, Asim. And I think we will see him do a full circle. And at some point in his career, he'll be back in England for a top club.
TK, okay. Rumi saying, show me the jersey. It's just a normal.
He's not going to show you because I've seen his stomach, and he's not going to show you the belly. It's as big as mine. It's as big as mine right now.
Shut up, man. This was provided by our very own brother Shahid from Pakistan. He brought him over from Pakistan. Who else is it, Avi? There's a few murmurs about Wirtz is not being handed the number 27 shirt. Yes, that Liverpool will decide on his shirt number later on in the
moving parts.
In the future, moving parts.
Comes back to fluid situations. Diaz goes, he'll probably take the 7.
Do you think he'll be wearing number 7 next season?
I hope not.
You're a good politician.
Luis Diaz.
I think Luis Diaz stays at Liverpool now.
I think it's
prediction.
I think it's so important that Luis Diaz does stay. Luis Diaz, I was watching some old clips of mine on my video. This is a video that I posted. That run against City, Asim, where not this season, not the title winning season, the season under Klopp's last season. Those 2 runs where he just took it to City, made up yards, dribbled, and he just got the crowd going.
Was this when he was playing at Porto?
No, at Liverpool.
All right, okay.
You remember that game at Anfield where he just got the ball, he ran like most of the pitch.
Kyle Walker came across.
Yeah, he turned him like that. For me is look, Diaz has had a good season. I don't think he gets the Barca move now. We know that certain Nico Williams is on the verge of signing for them. But Barca will have a quick fire sale, Asim. There are some players that are very interesting on that sale. Frankie de Jong, I believe, will be made available. Would he be one that you would look at again, revisit, or?
I'd look at Frankie de Jong.
26, 27 now.
But what's his wages like?
I think he'll have to accept 200 or 250 a week.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? That would be the problem. Hello. Okay. Anything else that we need to discuss?
Harvey Elliott. Expect some movement next week.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet.
I'd imagine I think he's probably been on holiday, taken a bit of a break, soaked it in, probably talk to his father, who's a big advisor, who's a big guidance on his life in a good way. I think we'll hear something about Harvey Elliott next week, Asim.
Okay. Robbo, do you think?
Fluid situation again, fluid. There's a lot of fluid situations when it comes to Liverpool players on the outgoing side. But I said, you, Gino, on the show, when I said, bar the McAllister, bar the Gravenberch, bar Alisson, Salah, Van Dijk, every player, if the price is right, I think we will make we're prepared to deal. I don't think we're afraid. And there's that little caveat, people saying too much change is a bad thing. I don't think that bothers this strategic team, including Slot, Edwards, Hughes, whoever's planning. I don't think they are scared of too much change. Yourself?
Yeah, no, I see that, but I don't mind a lot of change on the bench, Avi. I don't want a lot of change unless it was like pure high quality um on the in the first team. But at the moment, Avi, who we got in? Bring Pong. There's still a question mark against him if he starts or not. Agree?
I think him and Bradley will just fight it out during pre-season, which is great.
Yeah. But I think that's made our bench stronger, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Soboslai, if he doesn't start in the 10, Wirtz starts in the 10, it's our bench that is getting stronger.
Yeah.
And I really, I'm glad about that. And you listen to the manager over the course of the season, and I think that's one thing that has manifested this season, that he's not happy with the bench. And when it came to the not crunch, but at the end of the season, he was basically sending a message to us and saying, "Look, this is the reason why the likes of Federico Chiesa, as much as we love him, wasn't starting." So I think Liverpool mean business.
Do you think Darwin, Chiesa, Elliott are the next three to go out?
Yeah.
After Robbo or
Yeah.
before Robbo?
And we will not do anything, in my opinion, in regards to the number 9 before Darwin Núñez leaves the club. And I think you will hear, what is it, Friday? You could possibly hear something about Darwin Núñez even during the weekend. If not, Monday, Tuesday. But I think you'll hear something regarding Darwin Núñez pretty soon.
Asim, I've got a feeling that in pre-season especially, we'll have a very good look at Rio Ngumua and Trent Coney-Doherty. And I don't think the club is preparing to loan them. I think the club is prepared to retain them and give them some kind of games in some capacity, in some competition this season. I think they're too bigger talents to let go on loan. Whereas Kieran Morrison,
I
the
can't
noise-
see Rio getting any minutes, Avi.
cup games. I've got a bad feeling about Rio, Asim, and this is going to be a controversial take, but
Ooh.
I'd love to revisit in 3 years' time. Zach, don't say his name because there's talks of Chelsea pretty much getting a deal done for Joshua Abe, which is a big loss for our club, but we'll talk about that down the line. I think Rio Ngumua at 18, 19 may leave our football club.
Why?
Just a feeling. These are just one of my feelings.
Ooh.
I've just got a feeling about where his head will be at that age.
And what about this lad?
There was an interview he did with Adidas, Rio Ngumua, and it just felt that he's looking at Liverpool as a stone.
Yeah, but he needs to prove himself.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he will, but just a step before he goes to another level, to another club. I don't want to say big club, but he may be playing in Europe at 18, 19. Trey Naoni, I think a loan move would be good for him. He has to fill out more. I want to see him filled out more. I hope he's been doing some gym work. Trey Naoni, but Jaden Dans needs a good season out in loan in the Championship or the Premier League.
Okay. I think that's it, Avi. We pretty much covered the whole team, the whole squad. Anyone else?
Badicic, I think he comes. I think we'll have a look at him.
McConnell?
I think Lewis Kumas could get us 7-8 million. I think Tyler Morton 7-8 million. Dope.
Name our cup team.
Mohamedishvili, Bradley right back.
Okay.
Joe Gomez. Guehi. There is a centre back in our ranks, but okay, we go with Guehi. Gomez. Left back would be interesting, but I would go with Jarell Hato. Our midfield 3, I would go with Badicic, Curtis Jones,
Endo.
Forward line, Trent Coney-Doherty, Ngumua, and someone like Gakpo or Diaz doing that 9 shift. Cup team.
Okay.
You don't agree?
No. If it's like a Carabao Cup, early rounds of the FA Cup, I can understand. But those 6 attackers, Avi, they do need some game time.
Who? Who do
The
you think?
six the six attackers that we're gonna have.
Gakpo, Diaz,
Yeah.
Salah.
So they're just gonna be the Champions League and league. That's it.
No. Gakpo, Salah, Diaz.
Yeah.
Wirtz as a forward line. He might come off the left, maybe. But I'm not relying on. I think Jota leaves. I think Chiesa is gone. Nunes is gone. So we might be looking at two attackers that come in.
I keep sort of investigating or exploring the idea. Where does Slot see Florian Wirtz as? Does he see him once Harvey Elliott leaves the club? I think he will. We both agree as the 2 10s in that position, and then he sees the 6 attackers as separate. If we're going by this season, Avi, we have to agree that's probably the case. Harvey Elliott moves, Wirtz comes in, 2 10s, and then we still go with these 6 attackers. But is it the fact that Wirtz is a lot more adaptable and versatile compared to Harvey Elliott?
Yeah.
We can give him shifts elsewhere as well. Do you think the club will look at it that way, or do they think 5 attackers and plus Wirtz?
But yeah, I think what you've just said there, the latter. Do you think Jota stays?
Who's gonna leave at the moment? Who I think Diaz, I'm predicting Diaz staying. I'm predicting obviously Mohamed Salah. That's 2. Gakpo 3. Frimpong 5. No, because
Seven is a right back now.
I know, but I think he'll do some shifts as well at right wing. You disagree? So
I hope we don't use him for that.
So who's our second option at right wing then?
Diaz could do a shift on the right.
Yeah, but
albeit he's not destructive as he is on the left, obviously, but I think right.
Don is saying, bottom red Avi thinks this is FIFA. You got to keep some yard. He's right. I think how many changes are you going to make?
Okay. Hussam Sab. Nunes and Chiesa are gone. Yes. Yeah. Jota's a fluid situation. You get 30 million for Jota. Is Hussam keeping him?
Are we're not.
Are you keeping Jota?
What you're saying.
Are you keeping Jota for 30
million? We're not going to have 6 new attackers this summer.
Are you keeping Jota for 30 million?
30 million. I don't think it's enough. I think if Saudi come,
not enough. He's only got a year to run, man. Yeah, but
how many years has he got left?
1 more year.
I thought you had 2. Check again. Well, who are you going to sell if you get 70 for Diaz?
Okay. Hussam says yes. I'm keeping him backup striker that knows the team. The league is worth more to the team than 30 million. Oh, Yara, he can't even stay fit.
No, I agree with him.
He can't even stay fit, Don.
But at least he probably knows his role. We will get probably 20, 25 appearances from Diogo Jota next season.
We will take 30 million for Jota. And it'll be interesting to see.
Right, who would you bring in to replace Jota then?
I like the look of Fofana.
Malik Fofana?
Yeah.
But he's not a Jota.
Yusuf Fofana, am I? We're not looking at fucking DM.
He's not a Jota replacement.
He's not, but who is a Jota replacement? A fox in the box?
No, we don't even have a number 9 at the club. The guy half a number 9, and I know
it's obvious. It's
made out of straw. Well, you're sending him out the club as well.
It's obvious we're looking at a number 9, and then Diaz would do the 9 shift.
All right, okay.
Diaz was getting ahead of. No, hold on. Diaz was getting ahead of Nunes as in the 9. So Diaz is your 9. Gakpo can fill there. Gakpo can fill that 9 role, and then you've got another 9.
Fuck this. You give me your 6 attackers next season.
Oh no, we've done this.
No, give me him.
Okay, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz,
3.
Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, and I think we take a risk on this Malik Fofana.
Okay, you've got Isak there as well. I can buy that.
Okay,
I can buy that. I thought you were doing it without Isak.
We're definitely going to get a 9, whether it's Isak or Ekatike. We'll definitely get one of the 9.
All right. Okay.
I think selection said this is Viva la Revolution. The revolution has started at Liverpool. Jota, everyone has a price apart from the obvious ones that we're keeping.
According to Faki, Jota has 2 years left on his contract. Does that change your opinion?
I think his injuries are. I think they frustrate the manager.
They frustrate everyone. They frustrate everyone.
That's why I would take 30 million for him. That's a lot of money, man. That's good money, Asim. You got a new member, Mogi. Anji Mogi Sahab. That's Mogi, yeah. Wow. Mogi is subscribed.
Which Mogi?
Salah
Really?
from Billy's Way.
Oh, okay. Big up,
Majid.
yes.
Majid.
Thank you very much.
Go on, Maj. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay. Tika, thank you very much, people.
No, we haven't done yet. You got starred comments. Read the starred comments here. Have some respect, man.
Okay, now
Donkey.
you've been starring him. Oh, Alex, thank you so much. Would sign in Fafana, block Rio pathway.
That's the thing. I think one Trent Coney Doherty or Rio, they will be the surprise squad member. So yeah, I said, look, fluid situations everywhere. A bit like our channel. It's very fluid right now in terms of number of shows that we're producing.
Moving parts. Moving parts. Moving parts. Okay, Liverpool, just keep check on that email box. If you get a 70 million bid for Diaz, a 25 million for Diaz, Jota.
What's this guy about? Stupidest convo ever. What was this about? That's nice, isn't it?
You get some, don't you? You get some,
don't you? He's been listening to us. That's nice.
The weather's troubling him. The weather's troubling him. He can't go to sleep. Okay, people, there's still 600 people.
Hold on.
You're not letting me go, man.
We're not done. We're not done yet. Stop saying Trent Coney Doherty. Just say the last bit, please. Doherty. Doherty.
This Trent might want to brand himself as Coney Doherty.
Let's not forget LFC had to delete footage due to real embarrassing Trent. What's this about? Training ground, maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, Trent got embarrassed yesterday, didn't he? So, anyway, let's forget about that brand. Asim? Is there going to be sales now for the next week or so?
I think so. But an hour ago, Avi.
Here we go. Bomber.
No, it's not a bomber. I got some real encouragement. That's all I'm saying. Some real encouragement.
In terms of what?
In terms of an incoming. And I will.
You think you're fucking
Chat. Huh?
You think you're fucking Sherlock Holmes? What do you mean? I have a lot of I've got a lot of encouragement about an incoming.
Sometimes you don't have permission to say anything. Now, do you think I'm going to?
You've not had permission until the start of the year to say you've been leading your fans, your 70,000 followers. You've been what are you on now on Twitter? 40,000? You've done 40,000, haven't you?
I don't know.
No, you do know. Come on.
You think I sit there all night?
You got a plaque in your bedroom saying 40,000.
I'll check for you now. 43.9 to be exact.
What's this because that you've had encouragement about an incoming? Just say the name.
There's no name.
So you've had encouragement an hour ago about an incoming.
Yes, about our activity. And when I show you off the stream, you'll want to come back on stream and say, sorry, I apologize.
I'll never apologize to you.
Oh, you'll always do.
No, I don't.
No, you are. There's there's a heart somewhere.
About who apologizes to who.
Oh, behind all that flab, there's a heart there.
No.
And I can no look. I'm not lying to you.
Okay, question to you then.
How Liverpool are gonna be spending more money in this summer, and I'm not bullshitting you.
Hold on.
No, go on.
That was you. That was you. I thought you sent me that now. Why did you send me a voice note?
The £5 that we and that's gone now. What are you doing, man? Look, I'm not gaslighting people. I have a lot of respect for our viewers. It's bloody 1:30 in the morning. But what I would say,
hey, listen, the orange device is coming soon, guys. It's coming soon.
But you know what? The guys who are watching now, what I will do is mark this day, mark this time, and I will tell you at a later given date that this is why I was encouraged. And then you'll all say, you know what? Fair play, Asim. We would always be in that position. And you'll get that screenshot sent to you. Okay, you know what? Okay. Stay there. I'll send it to you now.
Listen, there's 569 people still watching. Why do you want to go now? Why say good night? If people want us to carry on over the next 10
I'm going to send it to you live right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
You
So,
have to promise me you don't
oh no,
fucking
I
do.
would never. I would never read it out. I would never read
Okay,
out from where it's from. Let him read it out. Anyone watching
right.
the cricket, guys? Cricket, Sherman Gill, one of our own, mate. Hit
Okay.
127, not out.
No bullshit. Right. Chat.
Let's see what it's about, guys.
Look at the person who sent it.
Okay. But I can't reveal.
Of course not. And look at the message as well. Tika? But I'm sending it to you on like one time. You know when you get only one option to thinger.
What's this about? Jaswell, magical,
Oh,
jealous, or as a Pakistani? What's that? He plays
he's
for
the
cricket.
batsman. Did he get 100 today or something?
Is he Pakistani?
No, he's an Indian.
So what's this about?
He goes, I'm a Pakistani, so I'm jealous of him. He must be a good
Oh.
player.
Okay, here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen.
Like look who sent it. And look at that message. Wouldn't you feel encouraged?
Fair enough.
Fair?
Fair enough.
Admit.
Mania. Mania means
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's legit. I'm not gonna bullshit anyone. Fair enough, Asim. That's why I said Asim's going up in the world. He's getting to know he's getting to know certain associates around the footballing table.
No names,
No names.
but big boys.
No bigger than me, are they? Come on, Asim.
Of course. Look at Alex. I will hold you to that. And yes, Alex, mark this time. I look, remember when what did I share?
Chris
I shared a
Bailey.
WhatsApp conversation.
Brilliant. Look at Chris Bailey's one. I sent it. I don't know what you're saying. Asim Rolin Umaniana. Any hope of Ibu renewing?
I think it's just hope, Avi. Anyone who says they've got any information regards to Ibu, I don't think there's any information at the moment. It's going to be quiet. But we were told that Liverpool are still in negotiations with him. So that is hope in itself. Just dua karo. That's all it is.
Dua karo means please pray.
Yeah.
For us non-Muslims, dua karo. Dua karo. Asim, there's a player that I watched last night.
Okay. Are you watching it? The Club World Cup?
Yeah, no, Barcelona under 21s.
Okay.
Quim Uniet is the name.
Oh, you tweeted him.
Remember the name now.
Okay.
Scored a hat trick. Plays for Barcelona. He was unbelievable.
How old?
He's 18, I believe. Quim Uniet is the name.
What's nationality?
Who's which? Is this Ben B or who?
No, it's not Bambi.
Asim, I've got word. Florian will wear number 19. Interesting. Interesting.
Keep an eye on that Chiesa shirt as well.
Sahir, I honestly believe this kid will be special.
What nationality?
But Yamal is Yamal. He's Spanish, man. The Spanish Armada has started again. This era, I've put money on them already to win the World Cup. Not that I've got great odds, but the World Cup next week. I've been watching the Club World Cup, Asim. It's been good. Flamingo, Benfica won today 6-0 against Auckland City. Flamingo beat Chelsea. Flamingo looked pretty good. But Esteban Willian, the Chelsea kid, he looks brilliant. He was played yesterday for Palmeiras. They won. Boca Juniors actually are playing today. Yeah, Faki, Al Faki. He's the name. Yeah, Quim Uniet.
What position?
He's a central. He's a midfielder. Scored a nice hat trick. Oh, very attacking.
Wow.
You've been watching the Club World Cup, Asim, or have you had
absolutely nothing? Someone told me to download the DAZN app. All the stuff is there, but nothing.
But Bayern Munich, Boca Juniors starting in half an hour. That's going to be a good game.
Bayern Munich goes to Boca Juniors.
I'm looking forward to seeing Carlos Palacios play, and obviously Kane, Elise, Bayern Munich. You know that Bayern Munich.
How many likes are we on?
Well, you're going to
Let's
give us a
get it
bomber
up to a certain number. No, there's no bomber now.
All right, give us some questions, guys. Give us 5 questions. We'll answer. Come on, 5 minutes to go. Let's have some questions.
Undisclosed commissions from their car finance agreements with My Claim Group. It's easy
to go. Let's have some questions. What are you watching? Are you watching
232. This advert, isn't it? I wanted to check how many.
How come we're getting adverts now in our shows? I saw that the other day.
trying to make a bit of money.
Okay, Rosa goes Lennon Miller. When there's a lot of interest in Lennon Miller from Premier League clubs, let's see what happens with that. Skip to my Lulu. Can Napoli really pay for Nunes and Chiesa? Yes, I think they'll get a deal done. Who else is there? Here he is. This is his name. Joaquim Unient Casanova. What a name. What a name.
Casanova.
Tway question. We wanted Hoyson before Kwanzaa was sold, so now we need to bring in to Asim. Take this.
Question: we wanted Hoyson before Kwanzaa was sold, so now we need to bring in. We needed a centre back. We haven't bought a centre back. The last time we bought a centre back was Kanate. We didn't replace Matip, and I said I'd be very, very disappointed that if we don't bring in a centre back this summer. Now, at the club looking at it, okay, Kwanzaa was a youngster, was struggling, wasn't trusted. We got a decent price for him. Now, Guehi will come in. He's an upgrade to Kwanzaa. We'll also cover a lot more positions. So can they get away with that? I still would bring someone in. I'd treat Guehi as an upgrade to Kwanzaa and fight that place and do bits elsewhere as well. But also, let's succession plan for the Van Dijk position. We missed out on two good youngsters. Like you said, Hoyson was one of them over the last couple of years. Let's go get that. And they'll have a list now for the best young centre-backs in Europe. The likes of Heto is on that list. The likes of Lukeba is on that. We're not going to get him, are we?
Christian Mosquera, though.
Yeah.
Valencia.
Asim,
Burton Jav. Do you like drum and bass, Asim? What genre of music do you like, though? Because you must. I know you're a very man of faith, but you must like a certain type of like Bollywood, Shollywood hair.
Yeah, back in the days. Back in the day, kabhi hushi kabhi gum.
Anji. Faraz, are you a billionaire, Asim?
I won't be sat here if I was. You are, though. Look at you, man.
No comment. Asim, I'm praying the name is Mr. Angelo Stia.
Ooh. No. Look, I don't have a name. I told you guys I don't have a name. It's just you'll know in when I'm allowed to share the image.
SJ, I've not seen him, but I've heard of him. Jacques at Rennie's, so I will do my homework.
People have mentioned him.
Yeah.
Who skipped
Asim, Ibrahim from USA. Big up Ibrahim in USA. I think it's not like McConnell.
He said it a few times, hasn't he? That he impressed me. But does he have the quality to be Liverpool quality?
Should be. Malcolm Billington, favorite Liverpool player, Abby.
Right now or ever?
I'm torn between Gerrard and Salah.
Yeah, me too.
Torn. Gerrard, what he did. Salah, what he's done. What he's still doing. I think I'll have to say Salah once it's all said and done. Once it's all said and done, Verge. Great question. Cesar Brizuela. Anything on Ekaluche? Top player. Top player. Don't think we'll get him though. Top player. I love Monaco, by the way. I love what Monaco are doing.
Let's get the likes up to 300 if we can, people. We're on around about.
Rumi goes. Are we doing the double Asim Champions League?
Inshallah.
Skip to my Lou Avi Asim. How did you guys all come together to make BNR with Cheen and Sabi, etc.? This is a question that we'll answer once we get to 20k. and it will be a show where us three are together in England or wherever it may be, and we will tell everyone how BNR came about. Interesting story, very interesting. But these boys have been there from day one, I believe. Yeah, day one, when we had like.
Cheen, I grew up with Cheen. Yeah,
we had 15 live watching, and yeah,
believe
the grind.
You were the first show, are we?
Of course, front three Friday. We kicked it off on Friday. And big up everyone who's been on the channel as well as guests, as contributors. We will never forget them. Big respects to everyone that makes their time to come on the channel. SJ, Abby, you think Gill can live up or come close to Kohli's legacy? I'm not a cricketing man anymore, but I like Shubman Gill. He's Punjabi, isn't he? So I've got to like him. But he's good. He's good.
There's a few Punjabis in the Indian team.
He won't be. Kohli's Kohli.
Why did Abby cry whilst watching?
While watching Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Great film. Okay. I cried the moment when Shah Khan gets a chapair from Amitabh Bachchan. Look at FSG's favorite movie, Moneyball. I know that for a fact. Oliver,
Yeah.
my dad told me about 2004, the first time he saw LL Cool J without a hat and the shock to it. I will tell my son of 2025 the first time I saw Gene with that.
That was a funny moment.
That guy is a good man. Gerard and Torres, people are saying, selection saying Trent is his favorite. Clinton, one of the members, thank you, Clinton, for subscribing. Big up to yourself.
Thank you,
Who are we
Clinton.
targeting in midfield? Love that Mateus Fernandes shout by Avi. I think he's a player that we could do a nice deal for 25 million. Anfield Road and Schumann or Kamavinga will be for sale. I guarantee it, boys. They wanted Zubi, which insinuates Xavi wants another midfielder. If so, one of those two is off. One of them should be the Kamavinga won't be leaving Real Madrid. I'll tell you that now. Kieran Dolan, thank you. Always a contributor. Bobby's his favorite. The club is built on Stevie's legs, Asim. Is that a bit harsh on the legacy of previous players?
Yeah, but I think during that period, Avi, Stevie carried the club. I think that's what he means. When you look at that team that we came up against, the great Milan side, there was some greats on that. Even when I watch the highlights right now, and when that lineup comes up, Avi, Shevchenko, Crespo, Gattuso, Pirlo, Toba, Seedorf, Cafu, Maldini, Nesta. I can keep on going. And then
It's the second half. I can watch it. I can watch it every so often. I can't say that about too many games. The only game I can watch.
Oh my god, I missed him.
There are some games I can watch over and over again, but that second half I can watch it anytime. He's a bit
But that
personal,
ball,
isn't it?
Avi, that ball.
Mohammed Yamin Ali. What are your day jobs in Jeans? Jeans is a Del boy. We can tell you that much. Asim is in the medical trade, and I do a bit of bits and bobs here. Nothing special.
You're the billionaire. You're the billionaire.
Very boring. Very boring. I was hoping we'd put a foot in for Yildiz. Kenan Yildiz. You see much of him at Juventus?
No. Gene has a lot of people who talk about Yildiz, Avi, rave about him.
Got to
You know
watch it.
what? If I can't sleep for about next 20 minutes, I might watch a bit of Yildiz.
Zach,
Let's see
Chip
what
and
it's
Sheen
about.
round coming soon. Sheen don't want to smoke anymore. He don't. He's been in Turkey. He's coming tomorrow. Patani koi shu hai koi tomorrow. I don't know. He's coming at 2 a.m.
You won't message me.
I want us to go back to back would be great. It's all about going back to back next season. Honestly, we have to go back to back. That's how your legacy is set in stone. When teams can go back to back in the Premier League. Look, ask him a lot of these genuine questions. What do you guys do for work? I'm a DOS house. Honestly, I'm a DOS house. If I see an opportunity, I'll invest.
I'm in the medical trade.
Yeah, I invest in projects and companies and whatnot. Nothing interesting. Selection: Shuameni, the scrub. Asim, if Elliot leaves, do we sign a central midfielder?
Why would that be linked to a central midfielder?
Doesn't it shorten us in that midfield area?
If you've got Wirtz and Soboslai and someone like Kerkez just drop deeper now, maybe that's the plan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Asim, did you do Wirtz medical then?
Here's a good question. This is the last question, Asim, before we go. Who's the biggest wonder kid at Liverpool you had hoped for but failed? My biggest hit, there's loads of them in terms of me. I'll give you my top three. Leighton Clarkson, had high hopes for him. Ryan Brewster.
Brewster's one for me. But we did end up getting 25 million for him, Avi. Something like that, wasn't it? Sheffield United.
Biggest wonder kid you had hope.
Who else was there?
One more. I'll give you one more that I thought could do it. It was
that Welsh lad. Is that Welsh lad?
Ben Woodburn.
Yeah.
He never did it for me. Christian Nemeth.
They had
Nemeth is one. Shea Yodjo was another. He had everything. Sousa's a great shout. Jordan Ibe. I've had some sort
Markovic,
of
20 million pounds.
Yeah. And we bought him off the back of the Spurs and the Benfica game in the Europa League. Absolutely ripped him. And I thought Lazar Markovic was going to be a star. Ovi Ajaria, yeah.
Speedy
Pogba.
Gonzalez.
He was nicknamed Pogba in training apparently. Yeah, Mark Gonzalez. I was just unfortunate. He had a lot of
Harry Kewell for me, Avi. I know he wasn't a wonder kid, a young wonder kid.
Asim. He was my favorite non-Liverpool player at the time. Loved him at
Honestly,
Leeds.
I was gutted.
Suso's a great shout. Suso's a great shout.
Suso did all right at Milan, though, Avi.
Yeah, but his talent was more than that. Balagizi's a great shout. Balagizi had the framework, he had the stature, just his temperament. It is so much his temperament. Placebo, yeah, Crouch scored a beauty in that game. At Emirates, he had a very good debut, and then
What about Bruno Cheru and Pongol?
Sam Diazil is a good shout, yeah. Pongol and Anthony Letalic. Remember them? Came in as the next Zidane and Thierry Henry.
Bruno Cheru as well.
Nabil Zaw scored a great goal against Cardiff, though. I remember long ranger, good shot. People know it. Fake credit to people. They know their football here. Look what happened to David Amu. Good sprinter, he was David Amu. Kiana Hoover. Asim Kiana Hoover.
Is he still? What happened to him after Wolves?
Stoke, I think.
Is he?
Yeah. Brad Smith. Australian, wasn't he?
Brad Smith, yeah, I can remember him. Flanagan.
Aliou Diarra. I tell you what happened. He carved out a decent career. He played for the French national team.
Oh, Pacheco.
Then he had a good career in France. Oh, Pacheco.
Bernard Diomede. He had a bit of a reputation when he came. Like
World Cup winner in '98.
Yeah.
World Cup. Nicolas Saric, yeah, Danish player. I remember this. Yeah, good shouts, boys. This is very good. Usama Saidi. He did well. He did well on loan for Stoke when he scored against Chelsea, and he was scoring all over the place. Pedro Quirivella. I think he's still at Nantes. I believe Nantes. Brannigan, yeah, Cameron. Alex Solari, Cameron Brannigan, who's at Oxford right now. Barcelona wanted him. Barcelona wanted him when he was at Liverpool Academy.
I feel old. Stop this.
Jerome Sinclair, yeah.
Lucic.
He owns what's those chicken shops that are doing really well in England now? He owns a whole host of chicken shops now.
Who? Oliver.
Yeah.
Not bad. If Markovic, Igor Biscan. If he wasn't shit at football, he would have been amazing.
Morley's. There you go. He owns Morley's. There you go. Told you.
Nice. Bobby Clark.
Yeah. He's still at the Musiala. João Teixeira, I thought he was going to be good. Yeah. Portuguese. There's another player. Guys, you might not remember him. You probably will. Francesco Duran was supposed to be the next Fabregas. 2 ACLs as him. He came back to the reserves after an ACL. The same game, the next ACL went. The next knee went.
Hanji. Okay, can I go to sleep now? What time is it in America?
Bobby Duncan is a case of bad karma and a bad agent. And you never saw that agent again. Let me tell you.
How many likes have we on, by the way?
Let me check. I'm gonna check.
I wanted 300 people at the
end. Last time you said Asim sold desserts.
I did used to.
Luis Alberto, you're talking about, Oliver, Spanish player who blew up at Lazio. I think he averaged 10 to 15 assists every season.
He went back to Spain and looked half decent.
Who?
Oh no, he went to Lazio. Who went to Spain? Who played the left footer that we bought? Aspas. Iago Aspas. That's the one.
Aspas.
Cholo. Fabio Barini. 7:45. That's not your time, Avi. You're around about what time is it now?
7 o'clock.
Chalo, I'm going.
Oh, guys, he's got to go.
I need bed.
Sebastian later. Yeah.
Good shot. Leto, yeah. He had good frame, Leto. Anyway, people, thank you so much for keeping us company. We had to do a show today.
He had good looks as well.
Okay.
I think he's still at the club, Anderson Arroyo, the defender. He went on loan after loan and loan. Do you remember the other Brazilian, Alan Rodriguez? He's playing in this tournament.
Really?
He's playing in the FIFA Club World Cup, yeah.
Cortez?
Yes.
What Don he was.
Our man, my brother. Yeah. He plays for Hearts now. It's Scotland.
Is he?
Chalo, guys, listen, love to everyone in the chat. 529 of you guys. He has to go. Otherwise, I could have done this all night long.
I'm
It's
going to bed.
unfortunate.
I'm going to bed.
Make sure you guys have liked and subscribed, and we shall see you guys tomorrow if anything breaks. Go ahead, show you.
Yeah. Are you at home tomorrow?
I'm always at home for you.
Yeah. Gina also some good 3-4. He needs to carry the channel for the next week. So I think Gene's back during the day. Then he's got a wedding to go to. He was telling me in the
Oh,
evening.
here we go.
When he comes back from the wedding, we'll go live, inshallah.
Hopefully it's not his wedding.
with the head like that.
कोई लड़की शड़की है कोई पीछे कोई लड़की
Abby, any update for Sudakov? What happened to him?
His deal hasn't been done yet.
I know his deal hasn't been done. That's absolutely asking about him.
Sudakov. What a player. Sudakov.
He ain't got no chance now, Abby.
I tell you, I like Malcolm's name.
we got
Malcolm Billington. What a name.
Huh?
Malcolm Billington. I like that name. Malcolm Billington.
Malcolm, hit the like button on the way out, people. Let's get the likes up to 300. There's still nearly 500 people in here, and we're on 236.
Why do you have to go today?
Go where?
What? No, why do you have to leave in such a hurry?
Only 2 a.m. in the morning here,
Yeah,
and I'm starving as well.
We're
I'll be
enjoying
honest.
ourselves.
I'm gonna go and look for a little snack.
You're
It's
supposed
too
to be.
late to order
You've got a
bar.
wedding in August, yeah. And I've seen your stomach.
No, I will. Trust me.
You're gonna
I'm
go
eating twice a day. at the moment.
on the old TK.
Need to get the old Manjaro out. TK, we're done, people. Smash a like on the way out, and we'll catch you. I was just about to say tomorrow, but we'll catch you on later today. Maybe, you never know. There's something happening on the Saturday. If it is, we'll be here to tell you first about it. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.